All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome in, welcome back, and hello to new people. So, these this past week to this week has been kind of nuts for me. And I travel back and forth from where I live to my significant other's house and back. To start it off, I forgot the two sets of oracle cards that I use. Luckily for me, we do have an oracle set right here. I love these. These are Crystal Wisdom Oracle cards. It doesn't tell me who. Han Yu Bowen? I think that's who that is. This is the box. Love these. We're going to use these today. I can't believe I forgot them. I got all the way here and I was like, I forgot my oracle cards, which is lovely. So yeah, kudos to me, props to me. But we just gotta roll with the punches, right? Right. So we will not have a positive and negative energy, but I will look at the energy from a spectrum. So take what resonates, leave what does not. I invite your spirit guides in to speak with my spirit guides to give you the best possible message that we can. But I'm just glad that the set was here. Oh my goodness. It's been that week for me. But we're out of the tail end energy of that red blood moon, which was a pain all in itself. So hopefully that energy is dying down for you as well. Three more. But yeah. This is how I feel. I'm just it's kind of that big exhale or that sigh of relief after everything is all said and done. So, oh my goodness. But let's see where we're going today. Let's see what wants to come through for you. What are we rocking today? Underneath, we have Labradorite. Embrace magic and mystery. Open your mind to new possibilities. And I love how these are designed. I'm gonna get that. See, look how beautiful these are. These are absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Your past energy is, oh God, I'm gonna butcher this. Azurite. Unlock your intuition, explore the mysteries of your inner world. See, beautiful. Look at that. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Where we're going is periodite. Periodot. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't use these cards because technically they're not mine. I do have the ability to use them, but they're not mine. So don't shoot the messenger if I say these wrong. Don't come after me in the comments. But this says, invite positivity and joy. Let spirit shine with light. Beautiful. So with what I'm getting from these, new chapters, new beginnings, especially with the embrace magic and mystery, open your mind to new possibilities. I feel like I said, we're coming out of that wormhole here. The unlock your intuition, explore the mysteries of your inner world. That was kind of where we were, right? You know, we were moving from the 3D to the 5D. We're still doing that. Your intuition is becoming a lot more loud and a lot more clear. And then with where we're going, you know, invite the positive energy in. Allow that energy to flow through you from your spirit guides, from your intuition, with your vibration. We'll see what the tarot has to say to clarify this energy just a little bit more. Like I said, these are not my normal cards. So if you're not with me so far, let's see where we're going and see if we can pin this down. Okay? All right. Underneath, we've got the Hierophant. We've got the Devil. We've got the Messenger and the Empress. Oh my God. With the High Priestess and Metamorphosis. Holy shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 major arcana right off the jump. 6. This is the underneath. This is what's happening behind the scenes, in your intuition. Oh my God. Okay. We're stepping into some big energy here, putting big boy or big girl, pants or underwear on. Oh my God. Okay. Um. Okay. All right. I hear you. So remember how we were talking, I believe it was last week, about moving away from the traditional way of doing things, the social norms, right? How not everybody is going to experience the same thing at the same time, right? They experience things differently. I can walk down the street today and be like, oh my God, it's such a beautiful day. And somebody else can walk down the same street and be like, you know what, I fucking hate it here. It all depends on your point of view, right? Well, now I feel like those messages are coming in that are trying to tell you to embrace that intuitive, emotional side with the Empress and the High Priestess. Beautiful. Those messages are coming in. It's a messenger, which is interesting because we have the Queen of Hearts and the messenger of the Queen of Hearts here. I feel like with the Queen of Hearts being the devil, it does come from fear, right? And I feel like from this fear, there is a little message, a little, I am seeing a secret passage, kind of like a little exit way that you can kind of like an offshoot. So if this is where you're going through the fear, there's kind of like a branch off here where if you hit it just right, you can shoot out of this energy. That's what we want, right? We don't want to live our lives in fear. We don't want to live our lives in the negative. We want to transform, metamorphosis. This is actually Absalom. This is the blue butterfly. I'm using I haven't used these in a hot minute. The Journey Through Oz and Wonderland set. So it's got the Wizard of Oz and Alice Through the Looking Glass. And it's interesting because all of these, I think -1. No, I think all of these are Alice. The Blue Caterpillar, the Queen of Hearts, the Royal Footman. Oh no, Ozma of Oz. We do have one from the Wizard of Oz, and that's kind of where that offshoot comes in. And then the rest are Alice Through the Looking Glass. It's not Alice in Wonderland, it's Alice Through the Looking Glass. But there is transformation happening here. We've got the Five of Pentacles. That's how you're showing up. Okay. With the Chariot. Okay. And the next step is the Knight of Swords. Grounding this energy is Justice. Guiding this energy is the Three of Cups. Okay. Past energy is the Tower. Absolutely. Future energy is going to be the Three of Pentacles. Okay, there's things coming together. There are things coming together. The Queen of Pentacles, the Star, the Fool, and the outcome right now is the Four of Pentacles. Okay. With this energy, I feel like some of you are taking stock after this storm. After this storm, right? I do feel the transition here from fear to, I'm hearing counting your eggs, taking inventory, getting a starting point after the storm. And that's why we have the Knight of Swords here with the next hurdle. I don't feel as though complete clarity has come in from all the destruction, all the damage, from transitioning from black and white into color, right? But you are keeping, or trying to keep, a very balanced energy here. Justice with the Three of Cups. Grounding energy, Three of Cups guiding. And this is the King of Hearts. So we do have the King and Queen of Hearts here. And that's interesting that that's done that way. And the reason why is because usually with kings and queens, usually we've got the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, right? But the way that these show up here, it's got Capricorn and Libra as the King and Queen of Hearts. We'll try and touch base with all of this. But I do see you kind of taking stock here. And I do see movement forward. Very fast movement, right? With the Five of Pentacles and the Chariot. I feel like you will quickly move forward through to this clarity. But you do have to take stock first, right? You know, after the storm, I'm seeing the farm, but what I'm trying to get at is, you know, after a storm, and if you have animals or, you know, you have to assess the damage, right? You have to assess the damage and figure out what made it and what didn't. And then from there, you can either, you know, replace things or build anew. If the damage is really serious, you may have to move if it destroyed your entire house. So some of you could be moving. That's only for one of you. One of you or like a collection of you. But I do see things coming together here. Three of Pentacles, Dorothy's rescue. You know, with Dorothy's rescue, you had to have a plan, right? You had to have a plan. They had to have a plan. The Scarecrow, the Lion, and the Tin Man had to have a plan in order to go into the castle and get Dorothy. Now, yes, things go sideways just a little bit, but that's irrelevant. Not irrelevant. It is just how the story ends. Cosmo wants back inside. We're going to make him wait. So, give me this Knight of Swords. Give me this message of clarity. Got the Nine of Swords. Okay, there's that stress. Here's the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, that's completely different. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. There's the Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, and then we have the Emperor. Now we have the Emperor, the Empress. That's Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine coming together. But the one thing that caught my attention is how different these pictures look. From stress to patience. It's Aunt M's garden. You know, it is something that's cultivated. You know, I feel as though that some of you are planting seeds that you have no idea, you know, what they're about. Let me word that a little bit differently. Some of you are planting seeds that you may not be aware that you are planting seeds or had planted these seeds that I feel like help lead to your success. Help put, you know, things on the table here. Because we go from a garden to a cook, right? So that's why I feel like assessing things is so important, because it'll help you do the work. It'll help you realize, you know, where things require your attention. I'm not going to lie. This energy is something else this morning. Starting off really big. And then the rest of it is kind of, I do feel kind of like I am walking through a garden and picking up nuggets of information more so than I would normally. Usually when I do the cards, it tells a story. It gives me a mostly clear picture with maybe one or two holes. This kind of has me sifting through rubble, you know, sifting through the mess to find this answer. Your emotion cards here, we've got the Queen of Pentacles, the Star, and the Fool. The Duchess. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. Your emotion cards will allow you, once you've collected the stock, it will show you just how abundant you are. Queen of Pentacles. Yes, she is holding a pig. She is holding a pig. I feel like it's almost symbolic of embracing the mess. But then we have Glinda the Good Witch and the Fool Alice. That is wish fulfillment. You know, that is new starts, new beginnings. I feel like it's the beginning of a wonderful adventure. But then we get to the Four of Pentacles, which is the Wicked Witch's possessions. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with having possessions, you know, taking stock. But I'm almost getting this knee-jerk reaction of, I just took stock, you know, these are my things. And it almost makes you kind of unwilling to move that over. Unwilling to part with these possessions, right? Judgment. Judgment, the Page of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. Now we have the King and Queen of Pentacles. As I was saying, I feel as though that new choices are coming. New choices will be on the horizon after all of this storm. But I want to caution you about being unyielding when it comes to working with the universe. When it comes to releasing things, to allowing new things come in, I understand that the damage has already been done. Okay? And when you're hurt like this, and, you know, the situations of your lives, it is difficult. It's almost like memories. I'm hearing memories. It's almost like you're unwilling to give up these memories for new memories. And that's where the choice comes in. That's where the choice comes in. The Jabberwocky. And now I am seeing Alice in Wonderland. Throughout that entire movie, she keeps telling them, you know, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to slay the Jabberwocky. I'm not going to do this. You have the wrong Alice. Until she goes through that transformation with Absalom, the blue caterpillar, and then she realizes that she is that Alice. You know, these dreams aren't just dreams, they're real. And so that's when she steps up and, you know, slays the Jabberwocky. I feel like that's kind of what's happening here with this energy. You keep telling yourself that you're not this person. I'm not that person. Take it a step further. I'm not capable of this. I'm not capable of having what I want. I'm not capable of being strong enough to let things go. I'm not capable of bringing love and abundance and doing the work. I'm not capable of these things. I feel like that's what you were telling yourself. And I feel like that's what's going to change. Whew. Which would explain, before I pull the rest of these, which would explain the Hierophant and the metamorphosis here. That would explain the blue caterpillar and the blue butterfly. Because the blue caterpillar came first. The blue butterfly came last in the underneath. You are going through a cocoon energy right now. You're going from one to the other. And during this time, your beliefs are important. Because if you tell yourself you're not capable of these things, you know, that's what's going to come out on the other side. Knight of Wands, Four of Swords, Nine of Wands, and the Two of Cups. Yeah, those things require your attention. They need healed. Because I feel like messages are coming in for you. But again, because we've gone through so much damage already, I feel like that's why it's hard to hear these things. That's why it's hard to see that offshoot energy. And you know what's funny? Now that I look at the underneath, it's telling me this entire story. Clear as day. But I had to go... Like Dorothy, I had to go through the entire thing to realize that I had the power all along. That you have the power all along. The Hierophant, the blue caterpillar. Who are you? Who are you? Are you the person who's riddled with fear? who's riddled with a lower vibration, who is all thorny and is all off with their heads. You know, telling people that you're going to cut their heads off because they planted white roses instead of red. Paint the roses red. Paint the roses red. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm tickled to bits over here. Completely tickled. Then you got a messenger coming in, telling you that you don't have to live in this energy. That you can go from the Red Queen to the Empress and see how different these two energies are. Black and white in color. The Wizard of Oz. You don't have to live in that lower vibrational energy. And then if you accept that, you get the High Priestess, which is your intuition, finally being able to come through. And then that lovely transformation from a caterpillar to a butterfly. Oh, you guys are good today. You guys are good today. Oh my god. They're good. They're good. They got jokes today. Give me the Tower. Show me the destruction. Six of Wands. The Two of Wands. The Ten of Wands. And the Ace of Wands. We got nothing but wands. That's inspiration. Those are passions. And there we have the Wicked Witch's death. The destruction here is the way forward. The way that you thought things are going to play out. The path forward. You're having to walk away from these things. You're going to have to give up the expectation. The expectations that you thought this was going to be one way when in reality it wasn't. And now, as the last card that I pulled is Glinda's Wand. Right? The Wizard of Oz, she says there's no place like home. And she waves her wand at the back of Glinda's head as she clicks those silver slippers. They're actually silver, but they're ruby, you know, depending on which version you want to take into account. They were ruby for the movie, but silver in the book. Anyway, they're actually silver in this set. But the Ace of Wands, it's that wish. It's that wish coming true. Again, I've got the Wizard of Oz, you know, all she wanted to do was to go home. She wanted to go home and go back to that life of hers. And then she had went through all of this mess. And then when she finally went back home, she was no longer the same person. She was no longer the same person. And that's what I feel like is happening here. With you. I feel like the storm has come to pass. And now what you decide to do with that is completely up to you. You're going to sit in this destructive, oh my god, everything's gone energy, or are you going to rebuild? But rebuild as a different individual from who you were. That is the question. The zodiac signs that I see. Okay, we have the King and Queen of Pentacles, so I'll walk away with Earth signs. We have quite a bit here, actually. We've got Libra, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, more Libra, Taurus, Pisces and Sag, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, that's air signs, Cancer, Aries, I think that's all I see here. Oh, yeah, Scorpio. There you are, Scorpio. One more time just to be sure. Walking away with earth signs because we have the King and Queen of Pentacles. So Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Aries, Capricorn, Libra, Taurus, um, Libra, Libra, Sag, Pisces, Virgo, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, Scorpio. I believe that's all I see. So, thank you guys very much for joining me. As always, your company is well appreciated. I'm glad that we could sift through this energy together. Hopefully this helped you. If this helped you, leave a like, leave a comment. If this is for somebody that you know, share this with them. But this is what I have for you today. Very, very interesting energy. Very transformative energy. But until next time, thank your spirit guides. Thank you, my spirit guides, and for your spirit guides for joining me today. And until next time, you guys take care. Bye for now.